On this week's episode, it's all about Rogue One, baby. But we'll also do some other cool stuff like rank the Star Wars movies and talk about news and stuff.
Come on, let's do it. Get to the chopper. What's up, guys? This is Comic Confidential, the weekly podcast where we bring you all the week's comic-related news and break down the top moments from all your favorite DC and Marvel TV shows, except for this week and the following weeks coming.
The next 8 weeks.
The next 8 weeks or something. I'm your host, Troy. Alongside me today is Amy.
Woo! I'm best!
Why'd you point at me and not...
Threw you for a curveball, son.
And I'm fucking here too.
Yeah.
Kate is.
Kate's here. The least important member.
The most important because we got 50 fucking reviews.
Yay!
Hey.
52
now
at the
52.
moment. God damn. You guys did it.
You
So
guys,
excited.
Yeah, we didn't do shit.
No.
You guys did it all. You guys are the best.
The best. And I wore a Christmas hat for 15 minutes before I melted.
Yeah. There'll be photos and stuff up somewhere.
Yeah.
It's very
For sure.
It's very pink.
It is very pink. You guys are going to love it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you want to talk about some news then?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right then. So this is pretty exciting in the sense of money, which I love. Disney has officially reached $7 billion at the global box office this year alone.
Wow.
They are killing it, man.
It's insane.
You know, they are just like swallowing up the world at the moment.
Pretty much.
Well, and they can't really go like a step wrong because everything they're doing is just, they're a money printing factory.
And do you know what? Their biggest Disney animated film hasn't even come out yet for the year, which is Moana.
Yeah, that's true.
It comes out on Boxing Day or some shit.
Oh, it's come out, hasn't it? Yeah, it's got a
Not in Australia.
yeah, it's got a domestic release at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, because I think the important thing to take into account is that, yes, Disney owns the right, well, you know, Disney owns Marvel, Disney owns Star Wars, and that's always going to make you a lot of money. But it's not just those movies that are killing it for them. Movies like Zootopia as well, The Jungle Book.
Yeah, Jungle Book, that pulled in over $1 billion.
Just under.
Was
But
it
still
just
went,
under?
yeah, just under, but still went very close. So, yeah, you've got to take into account that some of the Force Awakens money actually comes into that because the Force Awakens came out Christmas time last year.
Oh, right. Yeah, it did too.
Yeah, and that movie made a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
So a lot of that goes to that figure, but it doesn't really matter because $7 billion is $7 billion, man.
There's nothing to laugh at.
I can laugh in sadness that I don't have $7 billion.
Give me $7.
Disney,
Yeah.
if you're looking for a creative individual, just hit me up, mate. I'm here.
Yeah, also, I'm here too, so...
Me too, and I've seen all the Disney things.
Damn,
Well,
she's
damn it.
she's got us there.
Yeah.
What other
You're
news have we got?
overqualified, Amy.
Hey, Thor Ragnarok. You have had too many energy drinks, sir.
It's that tight Christmas hat he's got on. It's like it's
constricting.
restricting the
Oh,
blood.
it's tight, all right. It's so tight.
Anyway, director of Thor Ragnarok, Taika Waititi, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, anyway, says that we will see Planet Sakaar from Planet Hulk, the storyline in the movie.
God damn, that's going to be so good.
It's going to be so cool. We already knew that we're probably going to get some kind of gladiatorial Hulk action and all that sort of stuff, but it was never really confirmed sort of how that was going to come about. Seems though that from what I've read is that Planet Sakaar will be kind of where Thor reconnects with Dr. Banner, and the fact that they're heading down this way, because they can't do a standalone Hulk movie and all that sort of crap.
This
and,
is the best you'll get.
This is probably the closest we'll get to a World War Hulk style storyline.
Yeah. Oh, man. I really hope he gets it on while he's over there, and then he has his son, Scar.
Yes.
I was like, are you actually talking about getting it on? And then, yep, you are.
Man, he has this badass son, man.
Yeah.
Just fucking awesome.
Who's the mother?
Me.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
my
Hello.
I don't know. Probably Thor.
Moving on.
Wow, that's interesting. Hey, I'm surprised we didn't get this already, but there's a very good chance that we'll see the Justice League trailer before the month is out. It's all speculation, but if got an inside scoop here.
It could be a Christmas miracle.
Wink. Look, how it all actually came about is it's a guy who met Zack Snyder at a conference or something like that, and basically hit him up and said, "Oh, hey, blah blah blah. when are we going to get this? He's like, oh, we're just working on a few things, but it'll be out by the end of the month, sort of thing. So
Boxing Day.
Yeah, it's kind of just a random guy's Instagram who has a picture of himself with Zack Snyder saying that this is the case. But when you look at all everything that's happening at the moment, they've just released a brand new image. A lot of the times when a new image comes out,
what do you think they're looking at there?
I reckon they're looking at one of the funniest things I've seen them looking at is their Rotten Tomatoes score.
That's great.
Which I think is great. Who knows? It could be Steppenwolf. It could be the return of Superman.
Could be. I reckon they're looking at a hive of parademons.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I reckon they're in some cylinder type of thing, and I reckon they're all just camping out in there.
I feel like they'd be a little bit more prepared. If you have a look closely at the picture, Wonder Woman's shield is actually on the ground. So I don't know whether they've just been part of some sort of battle or something like that, and maybe they're just trying to reconvene.
Or she's saw it, dropped it, shit herself.
Yeah.
No, it's Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman would never just go
That's it. Yeah.
You never know, mate.
She wouldn't. But yeah, I reckon that's cool if it does happen. But I would expect it, like you said, around Boxing Day. I think that.
Yeah, I reckon it'll drop then.
Yeah,
might have to go back to the movies, just pick some random movie and just hope that's in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Or you just watch it online.
You could do
Right.
that. Yes.
Can you?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Hey, sticking with some DC news here, Warner Brothers has confirmed that Lex Luthor's return will return in Justice League and reveals a surprise Wonder Woman cameo. Anyone surprised by that?
Surprise.
I'm not surprised, but I don't know that I actually care.
You should care because he's obviously gone around and found out information about these metahumans. So I reckon his little cameo with Wonder Woman will be super small of him just obtaining the picture or
So you
or
think
something like
so
that.
you think it won't be present day Lex?
No.
It'll kind of all just be in the background. Sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fine. It's not the character that I want to keep popping up. Just I still really hold out hope for another Lex Luthor, a Lex's dad.
Yeah.
Lex Luthor Senior. That's what I want.
Lionel. Bring Lionel in. Did Bryan Cranston turn down the offer to play Lex Luthor, or was it just never offered to him?
It should have been if it wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. And if he turned it down, he's out doing that movie, Why Him? It's come on, mate.
Not only that,
James Franco was in that movie, though.
Yeah,
Well,
He's a
that's
cool
true.
dude.
he's a cool dude. But
James Franco plays James Franco or someone really good and deep.
Yeah.
127 hours. He's fantastic in that. Planet of the Apes, pretty rad in that.
Yeah.
And then you get this
yeah,
guy.
name a third one.
Go on. Name two more influential movies. Go on. Oh, wait.
This
Oh,
is
wait.
the end.
Yeah, this is the end. No, but
He was literally playing James Franco.
He
when
was.
This is the end.
But yeah, he has two roles: serious and himself.
Yeah.
Serious and high.
Also,
basically.
and then, party. He was in that Spring Breakers movie. And I'm pretty sure he's just high all the time, too.
That's
Yeah, and
true.
he had those cornrows.
Yeah.
That movie was so shit.
It was terrible, wasn't it?
I didn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah, I didn't either.
No. Anyway.
What was the whole point of this conversation? Bryan
Bryan
Cranston.
Bryan Cranston, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's in that movie, but I'm presuming he said no to do Lex.
Well, don't forget, he's also playing what is essentially a giant floating head in
Power Rangers.
Power Rangers.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're going to pick up these couple of things, man, just do it.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm sick of your shit, Brian.
Speaking of shit,
Nice.
we saw some trailers this week for the Emoji movie. So it looks like Sony Pictures has released the first teaser trailer for this movie, which is based on the little animated shits off your phone.
Yeah, that looks, they've chosen the perfect emoji to represent my level of excitement for it.
Yeah.
And it's the meh.
Meh.
But he seems like douchebaggy wanker.
Yeah,
That's
bit
not a
over the
meh.
top.
Yeah, that's not a meh.
He seems
personality.
borderline suicidal.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
If there's a I'm about to off myself emoji, that's the one that it is.
Mm-hmm.
Man, does anyone really care?
Nah.
I mean, sure.
Is this a movie that needed to be made?
No.
We'll see. I'm surprised they've actually fully admitted that the shit emoji is an actual shit emoji and not like the chocolate ice cream that they've been trying to play it off for as long as they have.
Do you think we're going to get an eggplant pun in there?
Oh.
See, now if they
I don't
If
know
they
what you're
do
talking
that.
about.
If they
like
do that,
vegetables.
Oh,
or
yeah.
a peach.
See now
And
if-
the little, the shower water.
Oh,
the
yeah.
squirts.
Yeah.
If they do that, I'll watch it.
Yeah, if they kind of went more like a sausage party vibe
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
it, yeah, that'd be
It'll probably
great.
be a
But
kids movie though.
It's going to definitely
100% a kids movie.
But yeah,
Not
let's
that there's anything wrong with kids movies. Watch them all the time.
yeah.
Well,
Just
that's
not-
true.
Not this one.
Let's see
maybe.
some eggplant action, shall we?
Yeah.
Speaking of eggplant action,
Segways.
look, probably probably the most exciting bit of news for myself anyway. I don't know exactly how you guys feel.
Don't tell me how to feel anything, mate.
All right, then. We actually got the announcement trailer for Blade Runner 2049, and it came out just like not very long at all after the official synopsis was revealed. And people have been hanging out for this for ages, and it's not very long. It's only about a minute and a half, but man, this shit was stunning. Stunning is a word that's being thrown around a lot lately, but this was stunning.
Okay.
What?
I'll let you have it.
No, what's the word? No argument.
Yeah. I'll let you have that, Kevin. I thought it was cool. And that's
yeah.
about it. Not stunning, but, all right.
Visually,
It looked like a bloody movie, mate.
oh man,
Had Harrison Ford and some other bloke.
I feel like
That's
this
enough,
is.
though.
I feel like this is a precursor to what's probably about to happen later in the episode.
Okay, he's already got his cranky pants on.
Yeah, but I don't really know why you guys aren't more excited for it. Let me tell you, this
I'm
movie
excited
is
for it.
30 years in the making.
Yeah, that's about when I saw the original movie. It was like 30 years ago.
I wasn't alive.
Yeah. Anyway, look, it's got Ryan Gosling in it. Isn't that enough?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Harrison Ford's back. Whatever. There's no point in me talking about it then if you guys don't even care.
I do care.
I need your help. Every day they grow stronger, but there's a way to defeat them. You're all rebels, aren't you?
All the way. I couldn't face myself if I gave up now.
I'm not used to people sticking around when things go bad.
This is the first for me.
Okay, so this week we did what just about everybody else on the planet, I think, did do. Yes.
Yep.
Is-
Did do.
Did
Wow.
do. We went to the cinema to watch Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and we're here to give our review, our varying reviews on how this movie fits into the galaxy and all that sort of stuff. So let's get into it. What we're going to do first, we'll talk about some financials.
Yep.
Are you even paying attention?
Yes, I am paying attention, mate. I'm looking at the numbers.
Tell us
Excellent.
what they are.
And the numbers are not too bad. It actually took 155 million domestically.
Is that US domestic?
Yeah.
Yep.
Every time, that's always US.
Oh,
and
so
it made 290 million worldwide. That's not too bad, actually.
That is, you're playing it down.
Mate.
You're playing it down.
I
majorly.
guessed 320. It almost got there.
I guessed 420.
Amy.
Is it?
Where's the 420 button?
No, it did really well.
Look,
It did.
$155 million opening weekend is absolutely amazing. And to go $290 million just within its opening weekend worldwide is very good. Interesting, though, to point out that that's a good $250 million behind what The Force Awakens did for its opening weekend.
Yeah.
But that's because it was like Star Wars is coming back.
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I feel like this movie's more aimed to those super dedicated fans where your casual viewer doesn't want to go see this. It's kind of like, it's a Star Wars story.
Yeah, $300 million on a weekend says differently, pal.
Yeah, comparing it to the core.
But yeah,
user base.
Amy's right in the sense of, it has been, what it was probably 13 years or so, 12 or 13 years since we had our last Star Wars movie. And let's be honest, those were nothing to really write home about anyway.
No.
So I think everybody was quite excited about that. Plus J.J. Abrams was on as director and all that sort of stuff. So, they had Harrison Ford, they had Carrie Fisher, all that. Anyway,
The band was back together.
the band was back together, but we're not here to talk about The Force Awakens. We are here to talk about Rogue One. So you don't even really need a brief rundown of what this movie is. If you know anything about Star Wars, you know that this is the precursor to Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. So this is the group of rebels that get together that actually steal the plans for the Death Star and give them, get them into the hands of Leia, which kicks off the whole events of Episode 4, 5, and 6.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So I know. So let's go around it. We'll do a round table. Have a chat about some people's thoughts. We'll start with you, Cade.
Okay.
So just general thoughts on the movie. What's your thought? Story, all that sort of stuff.
Okay, I might get a little bit of hate. Like I did not dislike this movie. I just felt like this movie had about an hour that could have been taken out of it. The whole, I reckon,
So an hour and 15 long movie.
Well, I don't know. Let's say half an hour. But
TV show.
Yeah, TV show. But it felt like it was a very, very long movie to me. The story was really dragged out, and the last, I guess, 30 minutes of this film, fantastic. Like it made the movie, but everything before that, it felt like it was a real slow struggle for me. The stories that they were building up to, it for me, I couldn't really give a shit about the people that were kind of there. What I did like about it is it kind of made how the Death Star had this huge flaw kind of filled in that whole plot hole of like, that's the stupidest fucking thing ever.
Yeah.
And it made it obvious that it's put there for a reason. There was an inside man, and that made it cool. But everything else in this movie, it really felt like it dragged for me.
Really? Amy?
I'm going to disagree with you. I agree on all of the points that it was cool to see the Death Star and the fatal flaw that it has, which we knew it had, but now learning about how that came around, all that kind of stuff. I love this movie. Like, I'm not the most avid Star Wars fan, but I will see every movie and I know the general gist of what's going on. So I didn't know any of the background to any of these characters or anything like that. And it sort of took me a while to figure out what I was seeing, I guess. But I loved this movie. Like, it sort of reminded me of being a little kid watching Star Wars again.
Yeah.
So that was nice. And it was...
That was nice.
it was nice. And it was really visually enticing. We're going to use some big words. But I guess the only downside to it was I knew how it would end.
Yeah.
And that's... Well, which is fine.
See, that's interesting. That's the part that I like the most, is because I knew how it was going to end, and I wanted to see how it got to that part.
Yeah.
Because they're like, kind of like, they were trapped here, they were trapped there. It's like, okay, I know where this needs to go. And maybe that's why I felt like it dragged a bit.
Because you were waiting for
Because
the
I was waiting.
punchline.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe I was just expecting too much to happen too early. But
What about you, Star Wars man?
Well, let me clarify Star Wars man by saying my fandom is based exclusively into the movies. So I don't really go external from that. Like I don't watch Rebels.
Yeah.
I don't read the books. I don't do all that sort of stuff. But as far as the movies goes, these movies are like my Harry Potter movies for you, Amy, I guess. With that, I would have to almost violently disagree with Kate. In the sense of, this, and you're not wrong in the sense of, like, other people have called out the pacing of this movie. So you're not the first one to do it by a long stretch. I don't get it, though. I don't understand, like, as I tend to not always do, but what I try to do is I've watched it twice this week, right? And I always watch it once as a fan, and then I try to go back to watch it again just a little bit more analytically, just to kind of make sure, A, I know what I'm talking about, and B, there's nothing that I missed the first time I watched it. Even on the second watch, this is a 2 hour and 15-minute movie, it moved for me.
Really?
Yeah, it was good. The pacing was fine. I think...
Yeah, I didn't find myself waiting for things to be finished, I guess.
Yeah.
So it was good.
Even when you know what's coming, it's still, like, there's enough characters, and you talked about, like, how you didn't really give a shit about the characters or anything like that. I think what they did, they've brought in characters that basically no one really knows about at all.
Yeah.
Some of the characters don't really even exist. So it's kind of for them to do that and to make you actually give a shit about them when they die. I think that's a big thing to do in what is essentially probably an hour and a half, because the last half hour or 45 minutes is battle.
Which is good.
Oh, and then let's talk about the battle.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Because the last 45 minutes of that movie is just some of the best shit that I think I've seen on screen in some time.
It's great.
For me, this put the war in Star Wars.
Yes. Yeah. This made you like connect with the battle, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because sorry.
No, you go.
I was just going to say, we've seen battles before in the Star Wars movies, but it was a long time ago and there was different special effects and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like, pew, pew. And then someone would magically be like, oh, I'm dead. But this one, it was actually a full-on battle scene.
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
And it's probably like, when you're talking about the differences of what's happening, you've got this battle that's going on in space, but then you've also got the one sort of on the planet on Scarif.
Yeah.
So you've got the actual ground battle happening as well. And then, like even within that, there's other stuff happening that's just so sort of well done that you can't help but just kind of sit back and just go, like, what am I watching? This is great.
Yeah, and I thought it was fantastic how it was also kind of like a tropical location where they were based.
Yeah.
It felt like they were almost fighting down the road from us.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, the palm trees, the beaches.
Yeah, if anyone wants to know, like, where we live is basically exactly like Scariff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Except no war.
No war. There is less war here for the most part. But it could be coming. We don't know.
Yeah,
that's
who
true.
knows? Space.
But yeah, no, I thought those the fight scenes, they were absolutely fantastic. The way that it all kind of worked out was almost like very convenient. That's the only thing is like, and you know it was going to work out, but the fact that like, I think what the androids say, they had like a 13% chance of it succeeding. They have a 33% chance of getting shot by,
Yeah.
you know, all the stormtroopers. By the way, I love that robot.
Oh, man.
Him. What's
he
his
was
name?
the character.
K2SO.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was my favorite character out of that movie.
Sassy pants.
Oh,
sure.
so sassy.
I think let's get down into the core characters a little bit more then, because when you talk about like this is another one, and I don't understand this at all. Like, it's 2016, for the love of God, but this movie has copped a little bit of flack for being the second Star Wars, and I'm using that in inverted commas or whatever.
Bunny ears.
Yeah. The second Star Wars movie to feature a female lead. And it's copped a bit of flack for that because people are kind of like, well, you just did that. Do we need to see this again?
Who cares?
It's like, who gives a shit? She was great. So we'll talk character names rather than actual actors' names because I always stuff that up.
I don't know any of them anyway.
Until we're talking like, a Ben Mendelsohn and that
Harrison
sort of stuff.
Ford.
Harrison Ford, that's one. Yeah. It wasn't even in this movie.
I know, I was sad about that, actually. I thought we'd see a little Easter
It would have been
egg.
good to have like him like maybe show up on the planet that got destroyed.
Yeah.
And just be like, oh, shit.
Well, see, this is another sort of thing that people have spoken about with this movie is the overuse of CGI characters from the originals. So, I mean, you had Grand Moff Tarkin or General Tarkin or whatever you want to call him. In this movie was entirely kind of, recreated because obviously Peter Cushing is well and truly dead.
Yeah.
So they had to do that. And a lot of people have complained about the overuse of that. I can agree in the sense of, like, I didn't think it looked so bad.
No.
But I think they could have probably used the character a little bit less than they did.
And make it a bit more mysterious.
Yeah. There were some lingering sort of like facial reaction scenes that just didn't really need to be there for him.
Yeah, I was going to say he's too like old and weathered in the face for that CGI to work properly, and a lot of it really looked off. But where we got Princess Leia, she looked.
Just spot on.
She was pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell she was CGI, but because her skin's a lot smoother, there's a lot less detail to it. I feel like they got away with that a lot more.
Yeah.
I was actually, one of the listeners of the show, Peter, sent me a message and said, should that have been a hologram for him?
I like that could have been. He could have been completely removed from it at that point in time, and they could have just used a hologram.
That would have been
time.
a much better use of CGI.
That's a great idea.
For sure. And I think, like, when we're talking about Leia, like, Leia was, when she turned around and she's like, oh, they gave us hope or whatever, it was very rough looking.
Yeah.
And, they would have spent a lot of time doing that. But when you look at the parallels between, say, that and, like, Robert Downey Jr. in Civil War, when they did his, like...
his younger version.
Yeah, when he was like that was spot on.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I don't understand why they couldn't have actually just used Carrie Fisher and done the same sort of thing.
Who knows?
But, there's probably way more to it than I'm actually thinking. Like, it's probably not as easy as that and all that sort of stuff.
No, mate, it's just bloody copy paste.
Yeah.
Just copy and
Control C,
paste.
Control B.
Yeah. You get a bit of Mario paint on there. Just fill out the color in the cheeks.
There you go.
Yeah, that's how it works, I guess. But yeah, look, talking about the group of rebels, I thought like they were great. I thought they worked well together. For me, I've been like I want to say lifelong Donnie Yen fan. And if you two guys don't know who Donnie Yen is, A, shame on you. And B, he was Chirrut Imwe.
The blind one.
The blind guy with the bow staff.
Did you just assume my fanage?
I'm so sorry.
Fanage.
Yeah. So for me to see Donnie Yen, A, in a Star Wars movie, but be in a movie that is, going to be as successful as it is. That's a massive payoff for me. Even if the character dies in the end, it doesn't matter. Donnie Yen was in a movie that is going to make $1 billion.
Yeah, absolutely. And, there was this big uproar when he was doing his press releases and stuff like that about the movie. He let it slip that he died in it.
Yep.
But you knew everyone was going to bloody
die. If they didn't die, how would it work?
Exactly.
How would the rest of everything we already know work?
Yeah, I think, look, it is one of those things. It's one of those contentious things because they had to, really,
right.
because they had never mentioned again. And like,
I think we called it 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Like, no one can survive this movie.
Basically. It was never going to work any other way other than that. But, what can you do? Let's talk about the Darth Vader scene at the end.
Yes, please.
Because that was
just savage.
My fave moment. That's my fave moment.
Is that your favorite moment?
I don't remember him ever being like, and it could just be the effects are a lot better these days, but I don't remember him being that savage in the previous ones.
Look, to be honest with you, he hasn't. And I don't want to be the guy that keeps bringing up the bad news that this movie is like copping, but I feel like I have to because people are crazy, essentially. But this is a situation where like this movie finishes like 10, 20 minutes prior to the events of episode 4. And that is fucking brilliant, let me tell you. Like, and the way that those movies carry in together. When I watched Rogue One the first time this week, I went home and like I gave myself a couple of hours, but then I chucked on episode 4. And I watched it sort of, and it fits seamlessly.
It's perfect, isn't it?
And if people think that it doesn't, like,
shame on you.
You're probably looking at stuff that I don't even know exists because it's you're looking into it way too far.
Yeah.
But the movies fit seamlessly in together, and I think that's perfect. But one thing that doesn't is Vader's reaction from end of Rogue One to the start of episode 4.
He's much more reserved.
Yeah, much more reserved. And he kind of lets the stormtroopers take the lead and, they do all the shooting and they do all that sort of stuff. Whereas he's just, at the end of Rogue One, he's
Kicking
just
ass.
bad-assering his way, through the whole thing.
That was awesome. I wish Darth Vader was like that all the time.
Yeah. He is like just ruthless, powerful, scary.
But that's the thing. And you've never really seen it before. So for us to finally get that payoff, regardless of how that fits into episode 4, that's good, man. That's good for me. I think that's awesome.
Same.
Awesome.
Loved it.
So what do you want to talk about? Bad guy? Orson Krennic?
Average.
Ben Mendelsohn. It's good to see an Aussie actor doing what he's doing.
Yeah, actually, can I just say, it seemed like there was a lot of British and Australian actors in this.
Yeah, actually.
I seem to hear a lot of those accents.
I don't know about other Australian actors. I haven't really looked into it that much. But
Neither have I. But there was definitely a lot of British actors.
Yeah.
British is always a thing, though. Like, I think if you've got a movie that is set somewhere else, that kind of, you need to have almost like a lingua franca for like an actual accent.
Yeah.
So like a bridging accent.
It's the British.
Yeah, I think the British one works the most. American stands out.
It's very harsh in comparison.
Yeah.
I guess.
So I think that's probably the way to go. Ben Mendelsohn, you could definitely hear his Aussie accent coming through, but I don't think that dude was trying to hide it at all.
And that's good. I really, really like that because...
Like Aussies can't be in space.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And
we're allowed to go to space, motherfucker.
We can do what we want.
And it's good because there was so many different cultures that you saw throughout the movie. It's kind of like it's everywhere.
But then the thing is, because all of these accents were there, I wasn't shocked that they were all talking differently.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
in your head, you don't spend the whole movie listening to an American accent and then you're like, bam, oh shit, they're British sort of thing.
Yeah. And the one thing that I want to praise about this movie and The Force Awakens and stuff like that is they've kind of gone away from that whole, not that you ever really hear them talk or anything like that, but in the prequels, they kind of made everybody like a Kiwi.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yes, they did.
So all the stormtroopers, Boba Fett, Jango Fett, all of these people, obviously because they were cloned and all that sort of stuff, so everybody had a Kiwi accent.
Yeah.
It was filmed, a lot of it was filmed in Australia, so there were a lot of Australians and Kiwis in it as well, but it was just too much. Like, you were just hearing it all the time, and they were trying to hide their accent.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of them were, and it didn't work, whereas this one, they kind of did away from that. And I think, look, not trying to pick a country, but I think British or English is the best way to go with the English accent. So I think that's fine. I think that was good. Ben Mendelsohn did a pretty good job. Overall, probably wasn't, if you're talking about big bad villains of movies, probably wasn't too much to him, really.
No, I think he was a little underwhelming.
Yeah.
I think the only really villain type thing, other than, Death Star, whatever, was he killed all the engineers.
Yeah, there was that.
Yeah.
He did orchestrate or help to orchestrate the destruction of Jeddah as well. It's there, but it's,
It's just not imposing, really.
Exactly. Considering the original three were focused around Darth Vader,
Yeah.
like one of the greatest movie villains of all time,
Yeah.
you're really going to struggle to ever get
That's true.
any different to that.
Yeah, that's exactly it. What I did like about that, though, is there was almost a political struggle
Yeah.
within the Death Star.
Yeah. So within the actual empire itself. Yeah. So you've basically got you've got Tarkin and you've got Krennic, and they're kind of going head to head at each other. They're both trying to basically sort of battle for who can suck up the most to Darth Vader and the Emperor.
Yeah, exactly. And there was actually quite a bit of political fighting, because we also saw it with the rebels, who were almost split 50-50. No, don't do it. It's a suicide mission.
Yeah.
This is not what we're about. No, it is what we're about.
Yeah, and not to mention as well, Forrest Whitaker's character, Saw Gerrera, who was actually part of the Rebel Alliance, but broke off and kind of went a bit guerrilla, and they kind of had to distance themselves a bit from him because he was
too extreme.
He was kind of too extreme, yeah. So they even had that kind of that extremism, and then the far left, far right, all that sort of thing. So it was good.
I was really disappointed with how underused he was.
Me too. I was just about to say that, because the thing is, the first sort of major scene we see with him, he's almost torturing the pilot. Well, I don't remember his name. So
Bodhi.
Yep, that's a great name.
Yep.
And then torturing the pilot. And then as soon as Jin comes in, he's almost like this big softy and does nothing.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean? He sort of disappears into the storyline.
But well, it's kind of, I think the most frustrating thing with it is that, and this character does exist prior to this movie and all that sort of stuff, but I don't know enough about it because I don't follow that. But the fact that, he has done as much as he has done and sacrificed as much as he has actually sacrificed, for him to then turn around and just go, yeah, you know what, I'm just going to stay here and die.
Yeah, that really frustrated me.
Yeah.
I would have loved to seen him go join them, fight.
And then die.
And
Yeah.
then die,
Yeah.
A little bit more use. Come on.
Yeah, a little bit more use before you die.
Yeah.
Don't just give up.
He would have been fantastic in that final scene.
Yeah.
On that bridge.
Oh, it would have been him within that battle somewhere would have been fantastic. You just imagine this this old ass dude who has a breathing apparatus, and 2 robot legs, and Forrest Whitaker's eye, and
Just one.
Yeah, and he's just on the beach, just fucking shit up.
It would have been
It would have
fantastic.
been awesome.
Steals that guy's machine gun and just destroys people.
Yeah, but unfortunately,
Yeah.
no
He
good.
did.
That's a big missed opportunity, in my opinion. For him to just get swallowed up with the destruction of the Holy Land,
Yeah,
really disappointed me.
yeah, very much so. I think it's something that they could have done a lot more with, but that's it is what it is. It's not it's not going to fuck the movie up for me, but it is
It's
one of
just a
those
nice
things.
to have.
So what did you think? So you guys have both seen The Force Awakens, right?
Yeah.
So since we're talking, we were talking earlier about having 2 female leads and all that sort of stuff, Jyn Erso, how do you think she fared as far as a sort of a female-driven heroine-ish type story goes, especially when you're looking at The Force Awakens with Rey?
Yeah, I thought she was fine. I think her direction was a little bit unclear, because she was almost I'm just doing this for myself so I can escape and just go do my thing.
Yeah.
But then it's almost automatically she's just no, we're going to go fight them now.
Yeah. It kind of changed, though, after she saw the hologram of her father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And kind of realized that the sacrifice that he had made. So, maybe there was, she hasn't actually really sort of fought for much lately. So maybe it's time for her to stand up and actually try to fight for her father.
Yeah, I don't know. I just find it really far-fetched that she's almost not battle experienced at all to go and become this champion.
Well, remember, though, that at one point, Saw Gerrera did say, "You were my best soldier."
Oh, that's true.
And
And she did destroy all those stormtroopers by herself.
Yeah, she kicked mega ass
That was probably
on
my
Jeddah.
second favorite sort of
I will
scene.
stand corrected here. That's a complete misjudgment by me.
Yeah. So she's well and truly battle tested. I thought she was great. I would have liked to, like, when you look at her and the balance of like her and I guess the other lead, Cassian, who was the captain of, whatever.
Yeah.
The intelligence, I think it was. But the main dude in the movie anyway. Cassian, Jin, together, whatever. I think that she kind of probably got overshadowed by him a little bit in certain aspects. So it was kind of like, I don't know. I think I don't know. It's kind of like she kind of had to take a back seat to him at some point.
What I think it was there's like the relationship, like a potential relationship tension that wasn't needed in it.
Okay.
And that's what I think kind of drew away from her a bit.
Yep.
Is that she needed to have like little mini conflicts with him to, make that work.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think that was needed.
Okay.
And they would have been two strong characters on their own then.
Yeah, yeah. So you think they were almost trying to push a relationship?
Absolutely.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
They were. I didn't mind it though, I
Yeah?
guess, because it wasn't over the top.
I just feel you're in this scenario where you're on a suicide mission.
Yeah.
You don't need to be worrying about...
No,
Yeah,
but
whether
isn't
you're
that-
going to hook up.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
isn't that then the time when your brain's going, what have I done with my life? What am I doing? What have I done? Sort
I
of
need to
thing.
procreate and make
Yeah.
children and whatnot.
Yeah, no, not to that extent, but like this Cassian was her friend in
Yeah.
Bunny. It's from the beginning, I guess, and they were together, stuck together, and then she thinks he dies, I guess, and then he comes back, and she's like, "Yay,
Yeah, I get
yay,
it.
friend!"
I get it.
Maybe. I just don't like relationships being forced onto,
Yeah, like
onto a character.
Just because you have a movie that has a male and a female lead,
they do not want to have to fuck each other.
yeah, they don't have to.
I agree with that. I
Yeah.
do.
So there were a couple of moments where they got very close and it was towards the end.
Yep.
And I'm very, very glad that the director had the restraint to kind of pull
Oh,
back and say, don't kiss.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good.
Yeah. So
Now-
just
I
a
have no-
friend zone hug
Yeah,
on the
exactly.
beach before you die.
That was nice.
I have no doubt, though, there will be deleted, like an alternative scene of that where they did it and it didn't fit the movie right.
Yeah,
And
maybe.
they decided not to put it in, which was a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll see. Very, very interested to see the director's cut or if another like extended edition or whatever does come, because there were a lot of scenes that were cut, and this is another thing that's kind of causing controversy or whatever you want with this kind of movie is the sense that a lot of things that you saw in the initial teaser trailer, and we're talking like dialogue, and we're talking like the TIE fighter that just pops up when she's running, trying to like readjust the satellite, all that sort of thing they cut, and all part of these big reshoots that they had. Apparently, originally it was too dark, so they had to go back to kind of like undarken it
Right.
a little bit.
I would
Yeah,
have liked
so
a bit more dark, I think.
yeah, I guess you've got to understand at some point
It is a Disney
it's
movie.
still a Disney
Yeah.
movie, and that is unfortunate. But for a Disney movie,
It was good.
you tell me another Disney movie where everybody dies at the end.
Good point.
There isn't one. So yeah,
Not everyone dies in Mulan, but a lot of people do.
Cop that, mate.
fair point.
So,
Does Milan die?
Nah.
Well, there you go.
bugger.
Anyway,
Maybe next time. What do you think about the folklore? Like the Star Wars folklore? Like the kyber crystals? This is like our first real look at them, isn't it?
Well, they've been mentioned before plenty of time. Well, not plenty of times, but they have been mentioned before. But yeah, this is the first kind of real sort of indication as to a couple of things in regards to this. So Jeddah, the city that actually gets destroyed sort of, like midway through the movie, you want to say? Something like that?
Yeah, they drew that out.
Yeah. But like midway through the movie. So they destroy Jeddah, and Jeddah is actually, kind of where the Empire had been mining for kyber crystals because that's what they were using to power the Death Star. Now, long before that, Jedis essentially had to mine their own kyber crystals because that's what they used to power their lightsabers. So I thought it was very well done, but more importantly than that, one thing that we got that we have never really sort of seen before, it's like actually the first kind of indication of it, is the Guardian of the Wills, or the Guardians of the Wills, which I think is very, very interesting.
Yeah, so they're an alien race that are kind of born into, I guess, feeling the Force.
Kind of, yeah. So, well, there's a couple of different theories, but I think what George Lucas originally had in mind were the Wills were an alien race, and they were bound to the Force.
Right.
Right. So what the Guardians of the Wills do, so, moving forward however long we need to move forward, the Guardians actually protect, like, they're kind of there to like the Kyber, to make sure that the Kyber crystal itself is not being misused.
Okay.
So they're kind of protectors of the Kyber crystal and the temples that surround them and all that sort of stuff. So they're kind of there to ensure that it stays true to its purpose.
Which they didn't.
Well,
Yeah, they're pretty terrible at it.
well, no. But by that point, there was nothing left. As in, there were no Jedis left.
Yeah.
The last remaining Jedi is Luke Skywalker, and he's missing.
Yeah.
So... Oh, actually, no. I'm thinking of a whole different movie. I'm thinking of The Force Awakens.
Oh,
but the Last Jedi
See
in this
how easy it is to run them together?
Oh, that
See?
is. But what I actually meant to say was Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh.
So basically, at the end of Episode 3, they kind of go on a killing spree and they kill all the Jedis and the Jedi kids and all that sort of stuff. And Obi-Wan Kenobi is basically the only one left.
Yeah.
So Obi-Wan Kenobi is kind of gone off into hiding, which is where you find him in Episode 4. But yeah, it's a similar sort of thing. So the Jedi culture, or like basically the whole thing, has just been completely destroyed by the Empire.
And I thought it was interesting because at the very beginning, Jin's mother was like, trust the Force.
Yeah.
But we didn't really see much of the Force, I guess, in the movie.
Yeah, I would have liked to seen a little bit of it. And like considering that Jin had a Kyber crystal around her neck the whole movie.
Yeah, that didn't get used.
That didn't get used. I would have loved to seen that. Like maybe she finds a lightsaber and puts her batteries in and
Puts batteries in.
Didn't you have to be a Jedi for it to work, though?
No.
not if you have the crystal.
Man.
No,
they
well, you
should
think
be
of it
real.
like Han Solo and
Oh, yeah, shit.
Finn. I think are the only two people who have used a lightsaber
I completely
in the
forgot about
series
that.
aren't actual Jedis.
But that would have been cool. Let's all agree.
But don't forget that her dad, Galen, played by the amazing Mads Mikkelsen, by the way, was the engineer behind this Death Star, essentially. So he knew that Kyber crystals were what needed to power it and all that sort of stuff. So it's not necessarily here's one for a lightsaber. It's like he has worked with this stuff for as long as he can remember. He probably understands and respects the mythology behind it, as does his wife. So I don't think it's necessarily like she was ever going to be a Jedi or anything like that.
Fair
Shame.
call. Fair call. Except, when she did pull out a little baton, I was like, oh, motherfucker, just put it in. I thought it was. I thought it might have been a lightsaber.
Okay, that is not how these things work.
No, man.
Motherfucker, just put it in.
Just put it in.
Yeah.
You just slot it into the back and then
Charge
away
it
you
up.
go. It's got a little one of those little clip things that
Yeah.
you have to pull open.
And they'll have a diagram of one Kyber crystal or two Kyber crystals.
And you always put the batteries in the wrong way,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Oh, it's the worst.
Yeah, the Kyber crystals have a plus and a negative sign on them. You got to have them up the right way.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how they work.
Anyway.
So, yeah, to answer your question, I think they did a great job with it. Probably the best thing, though, about this movie is how it all comes together, like how it fits into Episode 4.
Yeah,
So
okay.
that's what I'm left with.
Yeah.
Once the movie's over.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I took away from it. Do you want to move on to rating it then?
Yeah, unless there's any major gripes that you guys had that you wanted to talk about, like anything in particular that you wanted to bring up.
No, mine was just the pacing, and I felt like it was a bit drawn.
Mine was just everything.
Do you know
yeah.
what was really cool, now that I think of it? That we saw C-3PO and R2-D2.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very briefly, but that actually makes C-3PO and R2-D2?
Very old.
Well, yeah, that. But I think they're the only two characters that have appeared in every single movie. It's at least C-3PO. I don't know whether R2-D2 has, but yeah, every movie.
That's just the last thing I took from the movie. That was good.
I just want to make a note here, and I want to ask you guys. It's kind of like movie folklore, in that any Marvel movie and any Star Wars movie, someone loses an arm. Did this happen?
Did anyone lose an arm?
Or a hand?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think anyone
Do you know what's
did.
going through my head?
What?
Is I don't know which Star Wars movie it is, but when Anakin Skywalker gets cut with the bloody lightsaber,
Yeah.
and he's ah!
Oh my God.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't think anyone does, except K2SO gets pretty fucked up. He might lose an arm.
Actually, he might have.
But yeah, you never really saw one kind of just drop off or anything like that. But
It's in the extended edition.
that actually brings me to what is probably my biggest gripe with the movie, which, I loved it. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love this movie. I think it's great. My biggest gripe, though, is that they didn't have the opening crawl at the start, right? And the reason why they didn't have the opening crawl is because they wanted to differentiate these movies from the actual episodes.
Who would have bloody even worried about it?
Well, here's the thing. So you take that out because you want to differentiate your movie from the rest, yet you add in so much more of the folklore of those like previous 7 movies now that it is basically as similar as any of them anyway.
Yeah.
So, we're talking about Darth Vader's theme. We're talking about the characters that are in there. We're talking about one of the little things K2SO says, I've got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah.
That's in every single Star Wars movie. So you can't go doing those little things and those nods to the other movies and all the nods that they had to episode 4 and all the nods they had to this, that, and the other. You can't do that and then kind of go, but we want to differentiate ourselves from the actual episodes. So we're not going to give it an opening crawl.
It's just an opening crawl, mate.
I missed it.
No, but like when you watch it, it's like it comes up and, like...
Start.
Yeah, like the music, the Rogue One comes up and then it just starts. But it even starts in the exact same way that every other Star Wars movie starts.
In the sky.
In space. On focusing on a ship usually. So, it's probably, it's a little gripe. It's a little gripe, but when you think about it, like, that makes those movies.
You're right.
a lot
That's
of
what
times.
they're known for, I guess. That crawl has been used in so many, Family Guy took a rip of it, all this kind of stuff. Like, it's just known.
It's iconic.
That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, and if you're going to do everything else, and if you're going to bring C-3PO and R2-D2 in there as a nod to, to the thing, just fucking do it, man. Just make an opening crawl.
Do it.
You've heard the man.
Yeah, do it.
All right.
But there are actually like a couple of really cool fan ones that are going around, which is pretty cool.
We'll just watch that first and then watch the movie.
Yeah. Just load it up on your phone, hold it there, move it out of the way real quick.
For sure.
All right.
Shall we rate it?
Yeah. Rate it, hate it, or meh it.
Well,
Meh.
Yeah. I rate it. Like, there's no, like, can I double rate it?
I
Sure.
guess you can.
Yeah.
Sure.
Double rate it. Two thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
2 rates.
Yeah, fair enough. I will rate it.
Really?
Yeah, I will rate it. However, I probably won't watch it again.
Only half thumb up for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, half thumb up would be a meh.
No, it's
kinda
it's,
like
it's 45 degrees.
Yeah, three quarters of the way thumb up.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed the movie.
Sacrilegious, my friend.
But I feel like you could probably walk in halfway through this movie and enjoy it just as much.
Yeah.
So you're not sure of its relevance, I guess. Is that more the thing?
Look, if it took half an hour, if there was like a different cut of this movie, I think I would enjoy it more.
Okay. I'm going to rate it. I'm going to do 1.5 thumbs. Wait. 1 and a whatever angle thumb we're doing.
Right. How we tried to simplify this by
Yeah.
just making it a rated or a hate it.
And you
then
guys
we're-
are like doubling up.
trying to bring in thumbs now.
2 thumbs up and a big toe.
Yeah. Some random thumb scale.
Anyway, I rate it.
Okay, so now that we've spoken about it and we've reviewed it and, we've all seen it now and love it or hate it or whatever, I thought it might be fun to actually, I thought it might be fun. I don't know how fun you guys think it is. But to actually, rank the 8 movies as to, how good they are from worst to best. You guys might want to do it as how?
Okay, let me go first.
Okay, sure.
Prequels are the shittest.
Yep.
The originals are okay. And Rogue One, I'm going to put in there with the okay. And the new ones, top notch, mate.
Okay. So
Okay.
the originals are okay.
Compared to, A New Hope, that was bloody fantastic.
A New Hope is
Is
one
the
of the
original.
original.
Oh, but you know what?
The Force Awakens.
Force Awakens.
Oh.
See, mate, this is why I was talking about them in blocks and not individual.
We did discuss this because Cade and I aren't the most crazy Star Wars fans. And if Troy made us rank it by each movie, we'd just look like fools. But I think that's happened anyway.
I succeeded.
Okay, well, I'll rank the same scale. So I'm going to say the prequels are the shittest. I will agree.
That's not hard.
I'm going to say the new ones are probably meh for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You can't go past the originals.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's me.
Okay.
I'm a sucker for special effects. That's what it is.
Return of the Jedi.
Just
I'm a
new shiny thing.
Yeah, I'm a bloody millennial, man.
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, look, I'll go one step further then, and I'll actually quickly rank all 8 movies in from shittest to the most best. And yes, there are shit ones in there.
Thanks for taking one for
Absolutely
the team.
Yeah, no worries. So I would go Attack of the Clones as the shittest, followed by The Phantom Menace as the second shittest. Not better. It's the second shittest.
Both equally shit.
Followed by Revenge of the Sith, right? Now, this is kind of where it gets a little bit controversial, because I would probably put Return of the Jedi next. Yeah, I don't like Ewoks, man. No.
Get out.
I don't like Ewoks.
Get out.
It was the first of the movies that they tried to like really sort of like put towards kids.
Well, I was a kid, and I loved it.
I was a kid too, but like, looking back on it now.
That's when merchandise got in.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Yeah, exactly. So this is where Kenner got involved and wanted to get all their little friggin' Ewok toys
Yeah.
out.
I had them.
So then I would probably go Rogue One, The Force Awakens, A New Hope, and Empire.
You heard it here.
You heard it here first. Let's put a trigger warning on that too, because that's probably going to offend
If you
a
like
lot of
Ewoks,
people.
don't listen.
Do not listen if you like Ewoks.
Return of the Jedi is my favourite one.
Yeah, the consensus favorite is Empire.
Well, I'm being individual.
Hey, you do you, Amy.
Yeah, I will.
You don't do what the crowd does.
Yeah, that's right.
Even having watched all of the movies throughout this week, it still stands.
Yeah, really.
Empire is easily the best.
Solid favourite then.
You know what I'm interested
Solid.
in? Hearing what everyone else thought of it.
Yeah, so where do you think it ranks within the 8? Let us know.
And that means it's time for... Oh, my God.
Fucking jeez.
Amy, can you bring it in?
And that means it's time for Comic of the Week, Kate's favourite section of this show.
Oh, nailed it again.
I don't even need prompts, man.
You know what it is?
What?
I just can't bring myself to say it.
I don't mind it.
Anyway, it's time for my favorite segment, Comic of the Week. And I've tried to keep within the Star theme this week, as you may notice. But I am going to talk about Star-Lord #1, written by Chip Zdarsky, with art by Chris Anker, and obviously published under the Marvel Now publication, if that's the word. Sure. Anyway, this is all about Star-Lord. Peter Quill is back on Earth, and he's not loving it. After the events of Civil War II, the Guardians, especially Peter, have had a pretty rough time. Now, no longer Emperor of Spartax, stranded on Earth, and with his former teammates not talking to him, Peter needs to figure out how to readjust to life on a planet he was born on, yet hasn't seen in years. And it really is as simple as that, as Peter tries to figure out how to adjust to life's pesky rules, like what time is it acceptable to drink alcohol? Does he always have to wear a shirt? And can he bring his element gun to a museum? But on top of the humour, which comes thick and fast, expect to see a number of familiar faces, including a certain old man Logan who seems to have found the perfect drinking buddy. And for a comic that is based around a guy with no real abilities, stuck on Earth and trying to find a friend, literally my life, this is a whole bunch of fun. And I won't go into too much more detail than that. As always, the full review will be on the website, but Chip Zdarsky and co. do a great job in not only continuing the tale of everyone's favourite Star-Lord, but also introducing newcomers who might be looking for a good starting off point. I give this comic 4.25 Molsons out of 5. That's Canadian beer, which I started drinking irresponsibly at 10 a.m.
Good work.
And I'm about to pass out.
That's not from the heat from your Christmas hat, is it?
Oh,
Yeah, that could explain why you're so red, mate.
That thing legitimately nearly killed me.
It's the cutest, guys. If you want to look, go and look on Snapchat. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It won't be there by the time this episode comes out.
Oh, damn it.
But we are...
I'll save it and I'll put it up again.
Oh, I'm taking a photo.
I have no doubt you will.
It's going to be everywhere.
Great.
Guess what?
What?
That's it for another week.
That is it for another week.
Christmas.
Stay tuned as
Will
we
this come
talk.
out on Christmas?
It will come out on Christmas Day.
Here.
Christmas Day.
Oh,
Here.
man.
In
Yeah.
Australia.
Yeah, Christmas Day in Australia, the day before Christmas Day, which is usually Christmas Eve everywhere else.
Just to get you
Is
in
that
the
right?
spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's it.
Next week. That's going to be a thing.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We're all
Someone
into
suggest
it.
a topic for us. Throwing it out to you, listeners.
Just throwing it out to you guys. Look, we've got a couple of things going on out there, but
He's so lying.
it's just one of those things where you've just got to try to decide which one would be best for you guys to listen to.
Yeah, tell us.
Wink.
Please.
Wink. Hey, let's take a moment to thank the listeners, subscribers, and especially the reviewers.
Yes.
Man, you guys like made my Christmas.
You did before Christmas.
Before Christmas.
Well before
It's like an
Christmas.
early Christmas present.
Yeah.
It's like your parents letting you open a present early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then what happens on Christmas Day when you got nothing?
Yeah, exactly.
Rewrap it and open it again.
That's
Yeah.
it. I'm just going to jump back onto iTunes and read the reviews. Actually, there were some really good ones.
There were some good ones.
They were lovely.
You guys have put a lot of thought and love into it, and that's really nice.
There's someone who said, like, we don't know who they are, but we do. You listen to us.
Yeah.
Well, we don't, but
But you're important.
You
yeah.
are.
Oh, hell
as
yeah.
always.
Well and truly. We love you.
Cheers to that, everyone. Clink.
Clink.
Linkety clink.
Jesus Christ. Facebook, Comic Confidential Podcast, Instagram and Twitter at Comic Con Pod.
Got the YouTube. That's in the show notes. You'll find that link. We'll get it sorted one day.
No,
Yep.
we won't.
No, that's our thing.
As I was saying, we've also got Snapchat. It's been blowing up this afternoon.
Been killing it. We've
Yep.
also got the website. That's comicconpod.com. Jump on there. You can check out all the past episodes. Stream them for free. I think you can even download them.
Oh,
Ooh.
now you're getting serious.
And then you can like make a
Damn.
remix of it. So,
A Nelly remix.
yeah. Also got the Patreon. If you want to support the show, jump on there. That's patreon.com/ComicConPod.
Yes, it is.
Also got a Redbubble. If
Yeah.
you want to get yourself some cool merch.
Yeah.
Get
Do
it. Get onto it.
There's like everything on there.
There is.
You know, I was going to make leggings.
Really?
Yeah.
I would wear them.
Would you?
Yeah.
I should make them properly though.
Yeah.
What? How? Like,
Well, you're
I
just
don't
going to put the
even-
logo like in spaces on the leggings?
I
Yeah.
don't know how that works.
It's like leggings, but like I can do it as a repeating pattern all over it.
Like almost like it would look like Batman leggings.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got a pair of them. Anyway,
And you never wear them.
I think they're too small for me.
Don't leggings stretch?
Yeah, but it's when
They
they're
can
like
only stretch so
when
far.
they're like almost black lycra. It's not ideal.
Like the. Good point.
What else have we got?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Oh, we got the deal
Comic
over
Blitz
at Comic
deal.
Blitz. Use
That's
a code ComicConPod on sign up and you get the top plan for free for a whole month.
Yeah.
Correct.
Read all. Oh man, this is a perfect time to do that. Christmas break.
Oh, everyone's got time off over Christmas.
Except you. Poor guy.
Anyway,
But yeah,
do
jump
that.
on Comic Blitz. Do it.
Be good.
That's it.
That is it.
Thanks for listening. As always, I'm Troy.
I'm Amy.
And I'm Kay. And have yourself a fucking Merry Christmas.
Fuck yeah.
Festive as fuck.
That's too festive.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Almost festy.
Hey, have any of you played Mario Run yet?
No.
Have I stopped? I was playing it this whole episode.
I am fucking
Wow,
addicted
you're
to
really
that.
good at multitasking.
Yeah.
It is so good.
Is it?
Do you want to battle me in it?
I'll fucking battle you every day, son.
You're going down.
And I'll be the mediator, as always.
She can read my mind.
That goes along with my Batman tights, man.
Come on.
Come on, you stop.
Stop it.